Shout out to these girls for standing up and doing something about this ridiculous nonsense. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about sorority sisters at the University of Wyoming who are now suing the national chapter of the sorority Kappa Kappa Gamma for allowing a biological XY male to be in their midst. Now, he does not live at their sorority house, but he has full access to it, unlike regular biological males who do not identify as female and who are not in their sorority. Now, before we go any further into it, here's a picture. Now, y'all tell me what doesn't quite fit right there. Where's the onion ring and the basket of French fries? It's easy to see what's going on. You see, this entire picture is supposed to be sorority sisters. The entire picture. But we see who doesn't quite fit, right? We see this big 6'2", 275-pound man in the back who identifies as, I guess, a woman and joined their sorority in September of 2022, just a few months ago. Now, these girls are kind of held hostage. It's like, okay, I want to go to this school. I want to live in a sorority house. I want to be part of the sorority, but now we have this biological man here. And by all accounts, he is still heterosexual, still likes women, finds all these pretty young girls pretty, and is aroused by them. So they're like, well, wait a minute. I thought this was going to be a female-only space. What's going on? And before I go any further into it, we have actually an exclusive interview from a few of the girls who are suing the National Kappa Kappa Gamma organization to get this guy out of their mix. If you want to see this full interview in full, I'll link to it in the description box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
When college students join sororities, many of them do it for the sisterhood, for a place to belong, for lifelong friendships. They don't do it in hopes that a man will invade their personal space, staring at them silently, creeping them out. But that's exactly what happened at the Kappa Kappa Gamma house at the University of Wyoming, according to a new lawsuit. 6 sorority sisters say they were forced by the national chapter to allow a man, Artemis Langford, into their women-only organization. Because
Artemis Langford, what kind of name is that? What kind of name is Artemis? Is that his birth name or what's going on? So this person right here, like I said, 6'2", 200-something-pound man identifies as a woman. Clearly, this is somebody that's just trying to take advantage of the system. I mean, that's really it. I'm tired of hearing people talking about, oh, well, I'm trans. Are you really? Or is that even really a thing? Now, before we continue on this, I kind of want to take a quick pivot to a different story, but it all kind of ties together. You see, look at this. This is the same thing, right? A trans-identified male in New York City is suing a yoga studio after being denied access to the women's facilities. Redux has learned that Ali Miles, who identifies as a Muslim woman, you see how ridiculous this is? Look, you want to be a biological male identifying as a woman and calling yourself Muslim, go to Saudi Arabia with that. Go to Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Afghanistan with that. You're going to get stoned into the sand. You're going to get stoned back to the Stone Age, okay? You're going to get stoned into a set of prehistoric tools. You understand what I'm saying? This is ridiculous, but these guys will do things like this to gain an advantage, to gain an entry into a place where they wouldn't normally be, right? So, and the guy, of course, has a criminal record and a history of being litigious, suing businesses for discrimination, ridiculous stuff, right? This is a so-called Muslim woman. I see a pervert, a guy that's just trying to get into female-only spaces. It's quite simple what's going on, but since people refuse to acknowledge the obvious, these kind of things just go on unchecked until these girls are now suing the National Sorority Organization to get this obvious biological male out of their midst. Let's keep on going.
Because Langford says he's transgender. Now, what comes with being inducted into this sorority is unfettered access to the house, where about 40 college girls live. Now, a house where men, even fathers and boyfriends, are banned from being on the second or third floors. Because
as they should. It's a typical college dorm type stuff. You know, you try to go to the female wing, they're not going to let you in there. They got security that's like, no, you can't be here. Okay, that's just not going to be what it is. But because you identify as a female, all of a sudden things change. Come on.
Because that's where the bedrooms and the communal bathrooms are. But Langford had access to all of it. According to the lawsuit, several times Langford had chosen to sit for hours on the couch in the second floor common area. Langford stares at women walking past. One sorority member walked down the hall to take a shower wearing only a towel. She felt an unsettling presence, turned, and saw Langford watching her silently. The suit also alleges that he has watched members enter the house and sometimes had an erection visible through his leggings.
You know what? I mean, okay.
Times he had a pillow in his lap. Joining me now exclusively for an interview are three of the sorority sisters suing, Hannah and Jalen, who are both juniors, and Allie, who just graduated, along with their attorney, Cassie Craven from Longhorn Law. Hannah, let's start with you. How did all of this initially hit you when you were told that a man was to be a member of your sorority?
Before they begin, I just want to give these girls a big shout out. You guys are very brave in a time like this where it's seen as taboo to speak against these biological males who identify as females, males in disguise, transformers. You guys are very brave. And it's going to take women, brave women, to step up in this nonsense, because I can say certain things as a man, but I'm not the one that's affected by this. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to have a trans woman walk in the bathroom trying to interfere and trying to attack me. Women are going to be the ones who are in danger. They're going to be the ones who are vulnerable. They're going to be the ones who become victimized by these pervert, obvious XY males. Okay, so it's going to be up to the women to step up for themselves. I can do whatever I do. I can highlight you guys, give you a shout out, but ultimately it is going to be up to you guys. Let's continue.
Yeah, we were all shocked. I can speak for myself saying, never thought this would happen to me, especially in a sorority, in a space for women. We were never told it was a unisex space. We joined under the impression that it was a single-sex organization.
Well, Jalen, I read the accounts of what made the sisters of the sorority uncomfortable about Artemis. What did he say to you or to any of you that you know that made you uncomfortable?
There were a lot of uncomfortable moments in the sorority house, and it just goes to show the importance of women's spaces ultimately. And that's why we're here today, is we're fighting for the importance of women's spaces and what it truly means to be a woman. We were promised from the beginning that we would have a sisterhood, meaning only females, and our national sorority has failed us. They have blatantly ignored us and ignored our values and valued someone else over us in this uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, well, Cassie, we reached out to the KKG national chapter, and they told us that while we cannot comment in detail on this pending litigation, it contains numerous false allegations. KKG values diversity and does not discriminate based on classes protected by state, local, or federal law.
A sorority literally means female only, the same way a fraternity means male only. Okay, like you have fraternal to come from the father, like it's soror, sister, like it's not difficult to understand. How are you going to have diversity when you go beyond what a sorority is? At that point, it's no longer a sorority. It's something else.
Well, Cassie, I guess they're relying on federal law here. I don't think Wyoming has state protections in this regard, but nevertheless, it looks like they're going to lean on the feds to win this case for them.
Laura, I just don't see a way out for them. They want everyone to believe that being a woman is nothing more than wearing lipstick and the pronouns that you use. And we all know that it amounts to womanhood. It amounts to a lifetime of experiences, and that's what they seek to deprive these young women of, and that's what we intend to fight for.
Now, Cassie, I guess Artemis doesn't live in the house, and according to the lawsuit, was given a waiver, so he didn't have to live there. Now, why is this?
Laura, we've seen extreme preferential treatment given to the individual involved, and it's very disheartening that when you're a 6'2", 260-pound man, you're treated as the victim in today's society. But the bylaws are very clear. This is an all-women's organization. Kappa was formed over 100 years ago to be that support system for women so that they could compete in the classroom against men. And now we just cease to exist. We're nothing more than an idea of self-identification.
Well, Allie, here's Artemis being interviewed by the school newspaper back in October. This was last year, talking about being admitted to your sorority, saying, I feel so glad to be in a place that I think not only shares my values, but to be in a sisterhood of awesome women that want to make history. They want to break the glass ceiling, trailblazing, you know, and I...
Word salad, complete word salad. He's obviously just trying to be there to be around those pretty girls. That's really it. It ain't really nothing else to it. And it's going to be a lot of guys that are just like him to do the exact same thing that he's doing because this is an obvious end for them. A guy that is fat, relying upon chicken tendies all day, could go easily. You're 6'2", sir. You have the height already. You're a tall white guy. All you got to do is just get in shape and get some confidence, and you will be at the top 5% of guys in the whole country as far as being able to get women. But what you want to do is rely upon the nasty movies, rely upon the chicken tenders, not get in shape, stay fat, and victimize women. You see what I'm saying? This is the kind of guy that I hate. I really do. I don't respect guys like this. I absolutely hate guys like this. Rather than improving yourself, you want to take advantage of women to please yourself. Disgusting.
I certainly feel that as their first trans member. Allie, did you all sign up for trailblazing to have a man live in your sorority?
I think not.
No, we certainly did not. When I joined back in the fall of 2019, I was promised a sisterhood, which obviously you would assume would be women. And so for that to automatically change my senior year, it caught us all off guard for sure.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
So that is a video. I will link to this in the description, of course. If you're on IG, link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to these young women, these girls, for going on television, filing a lawsuit, and fighting back. It's going to take you guys, the women out there, to fight back against this. Because really, the reality about your Dylan Mulvaney, these other guys that are in women's spaces, guys that mock women, the reality is it's women themselves that enable it. And it's going to take women to disable it, to not enable it, to break it apart. I can do my part by supporting you guys in whatever kind of way I can, but it's going to take a full-on, outright, extended effort from y'all. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with the, not fraternity, the sorority that should be a female-only space, KKG, at University of Wyoming? Are they doing the right thing by allowing a transgender person to be in the midst, to be all up in the female-only areas? What's the point in having the areas of the sorority house off limits to males if you can just identify as a female and then get access to it? It defeats the purpose. You might as well have it just be open to everybody, just like anybody in. If all you got to do is say, yeah, I'm a woman, and then it's silly. It doesn't make any sense. But whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is completely ridiculous, and these girls are right to sue. And I want to see more action like this all over the country, because then, and only then, can we put an end to this nonsense. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.